There's something much worse than a Wendigo. Now that is called a Wet'suge. Wet'suge is a old Native American legend from the Pacific Northwest up into Canada. They are these terrifying cannibalistic creatures, essentially the cousin to the Wendigo. Now, the Wet'suge is a creature that represents someone who has been cursed. Often, these beasts are a result of someone who craved the power of the Great Spirit animal, but it couldn't control it. And it was turned into a Wet'suge as punishment. Now, they also believed that one could become a Wet'suge if they were to break some sort of taboo of their culture. If they were photographed, if you even spoke the name of Wet'suge, you could essentially be cursed to become this creature. Now, this story comes from the 1800s in the Pacific Northwest. There were these four loggers, and they happened to find themselves caught in the middle of this horrible snowstorm. So they managed to find this old abandoned cabin, and they took refuge inside. So they build a fire and they get some soup going, and they sit around and they eat. Well, they could hear the winds howling and hitting the house. They could see the snow just coming down outside, and it was just this terrible blizzard. So eventually, they all four go to bed. They lay down and fall asleep. In the middle of the night, one of the men in the group, he wakes up, and when he looks over, he notices the front door is open. And he could see the wind blowing the trees, and he could see a breeze coming in through the door, moving it. But he couldn't hear it. It was completely quiet. So he gets up and he walks over to the door and he looks outside and he can see there's this blizzard going on, but he cannot hear nothing at all. It is completely quiet. So he goes and he wakes up the other guys and he says, like, hey, there's something going on. Like, I cannot hear anything outside, even though there's this big storm. And all the men, they go to the door. And as well, they couldn't hear anything. It was just completely still and quiet. That's when they started to hear a young girl crying. And as they looked out into the snowstorm outside the cabin, they see a small little figure approach. And as it came closer to the cabin, into the light of the fire, they could see it was a small girl. And she was wearing just some sort of Native American fur coat. She has no shoes, no socks, no feet coverings. She's completely barefoot. And she's walking in the middle of the snowstorm. So they run out to her and they say, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? Are you all right? And they bring her into the cabin. Well, they start trying to talk to her, like, what are you doing out in the middle of a snowstorm? Like, where are you from? Where are your parents? But she doesn't speak any English. So they get her some soup and they get her to bed. And she lays down and falls asleep.